Hey guys, this is Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to talk about my favorite GPP exercises. So what is GPP? Well, GPP is general physical preparedness, and it means basically being in really good shape to be able to withstand whatever you can do in training, also to be able to restore from previous training bouts. So being in really good shape is ultra important once volume intensity is at optimal ranges and you're training on a consistent basis. But for the average person, GPP is important to build before you even start building strength, because capacity, the work capacity that GPP builds, is the basis of which strength is built upon. So what are some of my favorite exercises to do? Well, let's get to it. One of my favorite ways to use treadmill is to use it with it turned off, meaning that I'm making all the power and I'm having to kind of almost walk in sand, so to speak. So my favorite way to use a treadmill, which is how no one uses them, is to use it with it turned off. This is going to be similar to dragging a sled, creating some resistance and my body's ability to have to work through a cyclic motion for a particular amount of reps. Now for us on the treadmill, we like to utilize around 100 steps, anywhere from 3 to 5 sets. Now, depending on what type of treadmill you have is going to be how hard or easy it is. You can add weight vests, ankle weights, all kinds of stuff. But in my personal opinion for GPP, there's really no bigger bang for your buck than walking with a treadmill with it turned off. The other thing that I like about it too is it's not very compressive. So you're not having to blast down like going and running stairs or going and jogging. Not that I'm saying that there's nothing wrong with them or that we don't do it occasionally, but the point is that think about the impact of forces that are being applied, whereas on a treadmill, you're not doing any of that at all. The next one that's very similar is sled dragging. There's a lot of different opinions of where it came from, but a lot of people were talking to Scandinavians back in the old days in the 70s and 80s. Scandinavians had some of the best deadlifts in the world. When we found out what they were doing a lot of lumber work, dragging a lot of logs out of the woods. So what we do, we started to figure out, well, maybe if we drag sleds, it'll be similar to that type of working action, and then we can utilize it for conditioning and strength training. Fast forward 20, 30 years, Louis Simmons was using a lot of sled dragging with a lot of us a long time ago, developing glutes, leg strength, and hypertrophy with conditioning, all built into the same thing. Now, I honestly believe that sled dragging helped me get to the 1,000-pound squat range, and it also helped me recover from heavy training bouts of working out with deadlifting and squats. So make sure that you have sled dragging in your particular range of training. The next thing that we really want to focus on is belt squat marches. Belt squat marches are awesome because they're right in place. Chances of injury are super low, but it's transitioning that weight from the left to the right side, creating a lot of balance in those different isolateral muscle groups. I notice when I do a lot of belt squat marches, my glute hypertrophy is really high, my stability when I squat's really high, and my conditioning is really high. So belt squat marches is another thing that you're starting to notice a trend here. All of this stuff is insanely safe and it's not high mileage on your body. Actually, with the belt squat, you're getting some traction. So the sled dragging and the belt squats have a little bit of a traction-based training to them because the sled's trying to stay back, you're trying to go forward, therefore it's pulling apart the lumbar. Belt squat's doing something similar, but for me, there is really no bigger bang for your buck than belt squat marches if you don't have a lot of room to train. Now, I don't want to leave the upper body out of this conversation. Rope swings, which we just taped some videos on that today. Rope swings are awesome for shoulder and upper body conditioning. A lot of boxers and fighters use them, but they're also amazing if you're just trying to be in decent shape or be a decent lifter. I like rope swings because I feel it creates some traction at the shoulder joint. It also has a lot of rotation in the movement, which I think is missing in a lot of people's training, and it's a winner. So putting rope swings in occasionally in your training is going to be huge for upper body conditioning as well. The last one and not least is go walk outside. 85–90% of the job force is inside under artificial light. Go walk outside, get some sunlight. Take 10-minute walks after you eat. There's a lot of data on that too. Stan Efferding talks about that all the time. But on your off days or when you have extra free time and it's decent outside, Go walk outside, get fresh air, get sunlight, help with your vitamin D levels, and also increase capacity. What I find with GPP is that it's not how much you can do in a bout, it's how much you can kind of sneak under the radar over months and many years. So again, you don't need to do this stuff until you die. I know everybody thinks that intensity is the king, but in reality, the ability to do things every day is king. So if you can walk a little bit outside, do some rope swings on your off days or for accessory work, use belt squat marches to traction out your back after either a heavy day or build it into your accessories or warm-ups. Use sled dragging because it's amazing for developing overall hypertrophy and capacity. And treadmill off walking, if you could do some way, shape, or form of these a couple of times a week, you watch how much your GPP rises and then allows other things to excel as well. So if you have any other questions, hop on to Patreon, come out, check out wenningstrength.com. We've built a lot of these mini workouts. We also have a mini workout manual that ties a lot of this stuff in to help you guys get better and last longer. Talk to you guys soon.